Since you last testified, both General Sabia and the person you say was your co-handler have testified. And I just want to clarify certain discrepancies between what you told us and what they told us. General Sabia said two things that are at odds with your evidence. The first was that he said that he hadn't met you before the January 8th event in Cape Town, that was the first time he met you. And the second is that at no stage when he met you did he ever discuss any official policing business or operational, investigative or intelligence matters. So I just want your response to each of those.
Yeah,
was General Sabia correct to say that the first time he met you was at the 8th January event?
Yeah, to all the answers, I'm not going to incriminate myself going forward, Chair.
But I don't understand how you can incriminate yourself in relation to whether you met General Sabia before January the 8th or only on January the 8th.
As I said, I'm not going to incriminate myself.
Please explain how that incriminates you.
By answering that question, Chair, I'll be incriminating myself again. I therefore request to rather invoke my right to remain silent.
How does this incriminate you, Mr. Mokgotsi?
That's the answer. I do not want to incriminate myself any further. That's the answer, Chair.
Application is dismissed. Reasons will be given during the course of next week, if not the week after. The effect of the dismissal of the application is that Mr. Mokgotsi's evidence will be heard today, but we will have to take an adjournment. I will not indicate after how long we'll come back, but we'll come back not long from now for the hearing of the evidence. And Mr. Mokgotsi will be led by the Chief Evidence Leader, Mr. Chaskalson. That's the effect of the dismissal of the application. Let's adjourn. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I have been instructed to place on record that in light of the outcome of the recusal application, Mr. Mokgotsi wishes to bring a review application. We thought it prudent to bring it to the attention of the Commission.
But because there's no interdict at this stage, we will be continuing with the hearing of the evidence. Let's adjourn.
Controversial businessman and alleged ANC-linked fixer Brown Mokgotsi could be staring down potential criminal prosecution after evidence leaders at the Matlanga Commission of Inquiry accused him of deliberately misleading the Commission under oath, with allegations ranging from perjury to forgery and breaches of the Commission's Act. The accusations emerged during tense proceedings on Friday, where Mokgotsi filed an application seeking the recusal of Chief Evidence Leader Advocate Mehdi Chaskalson, Senior Counsel, claiming that he could no longer preside over or lead evidence relating to his testimony due to alleged bias and compromised impartiality. Mokgotsi, who has been repeatedly linked in testimony to politically sensitive business dealings, set out his case in a detailed founding affidavit. In it, he claimed that during the testimony of ANC-connected businessman Suleiman Karim in March, he was contacted by Chaskalson in a phone call that allegedly lasted approximately 6 minutes. However, it was Mokgotsi's own version of events that immediately raised eyebrows before the Commission. In a striking admission, Mokgotsi conceded that he had intentionally misled Chaskalson during interaction. He stated that he had suggested the evidence leader inquire about a meeting allegedly involving himself, Karim, and controversial businessman Morgan Maumela, despite acknowledging in his affidavit that no such meeting ever took place. He said, "I began by suggesting he, Chaskalson, ask about a meeting between myself, Morgan Maumela, and Suleiman Karim, a meeting which never took place. He further explained that his conduct was deliberate, saying he had sought to influence the timing of Karim's testimony. According to him, his intention was to create circumstances that could result in the postponement of Karim's appearance before the commission, as he was concerned about how the inquiry was treating him and expanding its focus beyond what he believed to be its mandate. Mogotzi's application is grounded in claims of actual and or reasonable apprehension of bias, arguing that Chaskalson's role as evidence leader compromises his right to fair and impartial process. Representing Mogotsi, Advocate Ntabiseng Mohomane told the commission that her client was requesting Chaskalson's recusal and that the appointment of a new evidence leader to handle his cross-examination. She argued that there was a possibility of perceived bias, which, in her view, justified the application. Mogotsi further alleged that Chaskalson had at some point offered assistance and protection in exchange for information implicating Karim, a claim that has been strongly contested by evidence leadership team. The matter took on an even more serious turn when it emerged during proceedings that Mogotsi had deleted portions of WhatsApp messages and call records relevant to the commission's inquiry. His legal representative defended this conduct, arguing that Mogotsi had only retained what he believed was necessary to support his case. However, Commission Chairperson retired Constitutional Court Justice Mbuyiseni Madlanga questioned the credibility of this explanation, suggesting that the deletion of communications appeared calculated and potentially aimed at preventing scrutiny of inconsistencies in Mogotzi's version of events. Justice Madlanga also pointed out that Mogotsi himself appeared to have initiated much of the contact with the evidence leader rather than the other way around, and said it's not the chief evidence leader who is desperately trying to get hold of Mogotsi. It may well be an indication that it was Mogotsi who was seeking assistance from the chief evidence leader and not the other way around. Evidence leader Advocate Adil Hasim SC delivered a scathing response to Mogotzi's recusal application, describing it as a deliberate distortion of facts and an abuse of the Commission's processes. According to Hasim, the evidence presented shows that Mogotsi actively pursued engagement with Chaskalson, initiated communications, and repeatedly expressed concern that Karim might throw him under the bus during testimony. Hasim further told the commission that Mogotsi had offered to provide evidence against Karim relating to a controversial SAPS-linked contract involving Medicare 24, a company associated with the attempted murder accused businessman Vusimuzi Matlala. She argued that Mogotzi's conduct went beyond mere inconsistencies, stating that his admission that a key meeting never took place amounted to serious dishonesty and an intentional attempt to manipulate the commission's proceedings, and that this was not an innocent mistake. He deliberately gave false evidence to secure the postponement of Karim's evidence. She further dismissed claims that the commission had failed to pursue information provided by Mogotsi, stressing that witnesses do not have the authority to dictate the commission's investigative direction or priorities. According to her, a failure to act immediately on a witness's suggestions cannot be construed as bias. Hasim has urged the commission to continue hearing Mogotzi's testimony without delay and maintained Chaskalson as the evidence leader assigned to the matter. In a firm observation that captured the tension in the room, Justice Madlanga remarked that the commission appeared to be dealing with a witness willing to shift positions depending on a personal interest. The remark underscored growing judicial concern over the reliability of Mogotzi's evidence and the broader implication for the integrity of inquiry. Meanwhile, the information peddler Brown Mogotsi has been arrested. This is according to ENCA News. Mogotsi was nabbed on Friday following his appearance at the Madlanga Commission in Pretoria. He faces charges of defeating the ends of justice, possession of an unlicensed firearms, possession of ammunition, and discharging a firearm within a municipal area. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.